The future appears bleak, yes. But it has always appeared so. This is not anything new. You can go as far back as possible in human history, to the very first moment of human beginnings. When Adam and Eve were expelled from the Garden of Eden. And you will find the future has always looked bleak. Just think of Adam and Eve being thrown out of God's garden and the doors being slammed behind them. How was the future? It must have appeared very bleak. All that they had known was being taken away. Their security, their safety, their world, everything was being taken away. What future hope was there? Only darkness, death. It must have been frightening. And this is not just a parable. Each time a child is born the future looks bleak, because again, the garden, the womb, the safe, the secure environment of the womb, is taken away from the child, and the helpless child is expelled. How do you think the child feels? Psychoanalysts say that the greatest trauma is the birth trauma, and the person suffers from it his whole life. The word, trauma, comes from a root which means, wound. The birth trauma is the greatest wound. It is very rare to find a person whose birth trauma is healed. It heals only when a person becomes enlightened. Because when a person becomes enlightened, he is again in the eternal womb of God, otherwise the wound goes on and on hurting. Your whole life you try to hide that wound. But by hiding it, it cannot disappear. Each child being born, coming out of the birth canal, must be feeling. The future is bleak. And each age has felt it, because the future is unknown. That's why it looks bleak. This is not something new that modern man is feeling. It is as ancient as man. You can go to the ancient most records. And it is always said in every ancient scripture, the future is bleak. And the corollary to it is that the past was golden. The future is bleak. The past was good, Satug, the age of truth. The future, Kaliug, was the age of death and darkness. This attitude is somewhere deep in everybody's mind. It has nothing to do with time and the realities surrounding you. And you have to drop this pessimistic attitude. It all depends on your approach. For example, in the past we could have continued to have wars between the big powers in the world. Because our wars were so inefficient, there was no danger. That's why, down the ages, in 3,000 years, we have fought 5,000 wars. There was no problem, it was just a game. And the male egoistic mind has enjoyed it very much. It has needed it very much. These types of wars would have continued if there was no atom bomb. Its very existence means that now, if you decide for war, it will be universal suicide. Who is ready to take that risk? Nobody can win and everybody will die. If nobody can be the winner, then what is the point of the game? War is significant. If somebody can win and somebody is defeated, it becomes absurd if nobody can win and both are destroyed. Because of the existence of the atom bomb, the big powers in the world are prevented from going to war with each other. It is ridiculous now to go to war. If all parties are going to be destroyed, then what is the point? The atom bomb has made war pointless. When I think about the atom bomb, I see great hope. I am not a pessimist at all. I believe things are going to be better every day, better and better. You will be surprised, but this is so simple if you understand. It is because of the atom bomb that war has become total. Before the bomb it was a partial thing, a few people will die. But now the whole earth will die. We have so many bombs ready that we can kill each person 1,000 times, we can destroy 1,000 earths like this. This earth is small now in the face of our destructive powers. Compared to our destructive powers, this earth is nothing. Now who is going to take this risk? And for what? You will not be there to gloat over your victory. Nobody will be there. The Third World War is not going to happen. And it will not be because of Buddha and Christ and their teachings of non-violence and love, no. It will be because of the atom bomb, because death is absolute now. The suicide will be complete. Not only will man be destroyed, but birds, animals, trees, all life will be destroyed on earth. This is the only possibility of dropping war forever. We have become too efficient in killing now. Killing can be allowed no more. Think this way and you will be surprised, then the future is no longer bleak. Yes, you can become frustrated and you become violent. Because all that you have hoped for has failed. You have succeeded and nothing has succeeded. So great frustration arises in you. You can become murderous, you can become suicidal. But the other possibility is also there. You can start thinking in a totally new way. You can start thinking that success cannot be found in the outer world. That success has to be about something inner. That you have been rushing in the wrong direction. Your direction was wrong, that's why you have failed. Because of frustration, people become more and more interested in meditation, prayer, contemplation. My own observation is that a person becomes a meditator only when there are only two possibilities: suicide or transformation. When in the outside world there seems to be only suicide and nothing else, then one turns in. Only at that point, at that peak of frustration, does one turn in. The turning in cannot happen in a lukewarm person. It happens only when things are really hot. And there is no way outside anymore. All ways have been proved false. When you have been frustrated totally by the outside world and all exterior journeys. When all extroversion seems meaningless. Only then does the desire, the longing for an inner pilgrimage open up. It has always been so. It is only at the extremes. When life faces a crisis, that transformations happen. Water evaporates at 100 degrees, that much heat is needed. When there is that much heat of frustration, a few people will become violent, a few people will become murderous, a few people will become suicidal. But the major part of humanity will start turning in.